How's it going, everyone? This is Magic People here again, and I'm bringing you a gameplay commentary from a little bit of TDM Pure I was playing the other night. And this is a game mode that is in the bare bones category, and I've been playing a lot recently. I found it very cool, very fun, and a bit fresh. It takes a step away from the typical generic core games that we all play all too much. But before I go any further, big news. I'm sure most of you are already very familiar with the fact that the PlayStation Network's been down for almost a week now, and it has been confirmed that the PlayStation Network was hacked. But the thing that's scary now is, as a precaution, the network has been shut down indefinitely. PlayStation announcing that they're shutting down the network until further notice, out of fears that the user account information and credit card information may have been jeopardized. And that means that any of you who have used your credit card to pay for any content on PlayStation, that information might be up for grabs. So make sure that if you want to be extra cautious, make sure you take a look at your invoice, make sure there's any unusual charges, and just be really safe. If you really want to go over the top, you could change your account. Get a new card if you want to make sure you're playing it real safe. And I just find that really interesting because that is a really big hit on the confidence that the PlayStation users have in the system and in Sony in general. And what I'm be interested to see is the recovery from this point on. Does this breach of trust impact how PlayStation is going to compare to, say, 360 in the future? I mean, I know that one of the main selling points, one of the main arguments I hear when people are talking about 360 versus PlayStation is, well, I don't have to play for online. Well, maybe, does this change things? Would you be willing to pay for online if it meant that you had a more secure experience? Not to say that Microsoft is necessarily more secure. I really don't know the technical details, but if that's what it took, would you be willing to pay more money? I find it interesting, and we'll have to see how things pan out in the end. But anyways, moving on. So again, like I said, I was playing some TDM Pure the other day, and there's a couple reasons why I wanted to show you guys this gameplay. First of all, it's not all that impressive, but I do show how, for the most part, but 80% of the time, I play smart. And the point I want to make with that is TDM Pure, first off, has no weapon attachments, no perks, no kill streaks, and there's something else that I'm forgetting. There is no kill streaks, weapon attachments, perks, whatever. Point is just the gun. That is it. It really comes down to how good can you play? How good can you work with your team? And what I want to suggest is I want to start a bit of a series, my first series. Hopefully I can do things like this from now on because I'm really excited about this. Hopefully you guys can take something out of it. And I want to bring up a back to basics series. I know that a lot of people originally, at least originally, they came on to watch these commentaries on YouTube, and, well, I'll speak from my own experience. I won't speak for everybody, but I wanted to see what the good players were doing. I wanted to see the high scores, what people were doing to get those high scores, because in general I found it to be almost like, you watch someone practice hockey, see what they do, see what they're practicing, see their style, their technique, and you try to emulate that. You try to copy it over to your own gameplay and try to improve your own skill. So I feel like that all the big commentators right now, they've gone away from that a touch. Not all, but the majority of the large and successful commentators. And I know it's been done before, but it hasn't been in a while, so I want to throw things back to basics series, going over the fundamentals of first-person shooter. And this TDM Pure proves that, it doesn't take all those kill streaks, those perks, and those attachments and everything else. It doesn't take those added bonuses to get a good score. If you play smart, you play carefully, you can get a good score just with the gun. And when everyone's on a level playing field, it makes things a lot more interesting. So a couple things I'm going to cover. I'm going to go over things like how to move from cover to cover, simple tactics, simple communication, aiming, running from point A to point B in a way that minimizes the amount of time you're exposed. Just these simple things that you really don't put that much thought into while you're playing. But if you do put some extra thought into it, it can be the difference between getting a couple extra kills and getting that kill streak if you are playing core, or dying that much more often. So I really do think it can make a significant impact on your play style, and hopefully if you follow these tips, you'll see your scores start to improve, because that's what I want this to be about. I want it to be about getting better at Black Ops, right down to the basics. So moving on to my last topic, and that's something that I did recently, and I want to preface it by saying I play on level 2 sensitivity. And a lot of the other players that I know who are, decent, or who other people acknowledge are pretty decent players, for the most part, it seems like everyone plays on higher sensitivities than I do. Like, I hear guys playing on 10, I hear guys playing on 7, those high numbers. I don't know how you do it. For me, and it's all preference, right? For me, I need the finesse of being able to adjust my aim while looking down my sight. Because otherwise, I've tried it, it just jumps all over the place. My screen just jumps everywhere. And it's just really hard for me. Leave some comments down below about that. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. I want to see what the average is out of the spontaneous gameplay nation here. Leave your sensitivity. I'd be interested to see what's up with that. And anyways, moving on to what I did, like I said before, I bought these things called FPS Freaks, and what they are, they're basically mini thumbstick extensions, and it allows you to have more control. But for me, it doesn't really work. Even with those, I can't quite seem to aim better. But that's just me. I'm kind of weird. Anyways, that's the end of the gameplay. If you want to check out that Back to Basics series, be sure to click over to my channel. I'm going to have those videos up on an ongoing basis, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you guys later.